Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing very well. So we're in DCS world, we're looking at combined arms using units, and we're moving now onto ships. So we've done combined arms and they're using the ground-based units, the tanks and whatnot, and we've learned a lot about that in terms of how to control them and in terms of actually about the real units. And now we're going to do the ships, and I'm secretly very excited about this because with the ground units, the tanks, there's kind of lots of them. So a T-90 tank, well, there's hundreds or thousands of them, but with ships they're very unique. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the cruiser Moskva, and there's only one Moskva in the world. It's got its own story to tell. It's part of a certain class, and there are more cruisers in that class, but there's only one Moskva, and so that's what I'm interested in covering. So we're going to do some history on each of the boats, and then we're going to go and use them in DCS World, shoot the guns, fire the rockets and stuff like that, and that should keep us entertained and a little bit educated, I hope. First, full disclaimer, literally I know nothing about boats, so we're going to, or ships, got to say the right words here, so you guys are pretty much going to be teaching me as usual as we go along, but let's go through it together. So, Russian cruiser Moskva. So, cruiser is the first word. That's a certain class of vessel, as far as I'm aware. Now, you get cruisers, you get battle cruisers, you get battleships, you get frigates. I don't actually know what all that means because I've never looked into that kind of stuff before. So the first thing is, I guess, if you guys want to list out what these different vessel types are, and we can discuss that. So, Moskva. Russian for Moscow, yep. Russian, that must be in the title as well, for glory. So glory Moscow, something along that for a conversion, is the lead ship of the project 1164 Atlant class. So this is part of the 1164 Atlant class of cruiser. The Slava class of the Soviet designation project 1164 Atlant is a class of guided missile cruisers designed and constructed in the Soviet Union, so pre-90 for the Soviet Navy, and currently operated by the Russian Navy, so otherwise known as the Slava class. Does anyone know what Slava means? I don't know that. Of guided missile cruisers in the Russian Navy, the ship is currently named of the city of Moscow. Okay, so it had two lives, once as Slava, and then later it was renamed Moskva. So first of all, let's look at the history. Slava was laid down. I'm assuming that means, what does it mean? Laying the keel, or laying down, is the formal recognition of the start of a ship's construction. It is often marked with a ceremony attended by dignitaries from the shipbuilding company and the ultimate owners. Okay, so laying down the ship in 1976 in shipyard 445 of the 61 Kommunara shipbuilding plant in Nikolaev. It was launched in 1979, so 3 years to build until it was seaworthy, I guess, and commissioned, so I'm pretty sure that means actually going into service, into actual service on 30th of January 1983. So from laying down to actually, being used as a cruiser, what's that, about 7 years? So is that standard? I guess that sounds about standard, doesn't it? Slava played a role in the Malta summit, 2nd to the 3rd December 1989, between Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, I remember him, and President George Bush. She was used by the Soviet delegation while the US delegation had their sleeping quarters aboard USS Belknap. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. The ships were anchored in a roadstead off the coast of that place there, whatever that says. Stormy weather and choppy seas resulted in some meetings being cancelled or rescheduled, and gave rise to the moniker the Seasick Summit among international media. In the end, the meeting took place aboard Maxim Gorky, that vessel, a Soviet cruise ship anchored in the harbour at La Valletta. I don't know any of these places. Slava returned to that place so that is where it was built, wasn't it? Yes, in December 1990 for a refit that lasted until, 10-year refit that lasted until April 2000. That's amazing. So the refit took longer than actually building it. Why is that? Maybe because of the financial problems of the country, I'm guessing. As Moskva, so that's year 2000, recommissioned as Moskva in April 2000, she replaced the Kinder or Sinder class cruiser, the Admiral Golovko. That thing there was the third ship of the Soviet Navy Project 58 Grozny class guided missile cruisers, also known as Kinder or Cinder class, as the flagship of the Black Sea. In early April 2003, Moskva, along with a patrol boat, that, Smet and a landing ship departed Sevastopol for exercises in the Indian Ocean with a Pacific Fleet task group. Now, sorry, I've got to stop there because something's bugging me. Black Sea, I didn't think Black Sea was connected to. So that's the Black Sea, yeah, I get that. So how does that get to the Pacific Ocean? Am I missing something obvious here? I guess battleships must be, or cruisers must be able to get through there then, I'm guessing you're going to tell me. So that gets you out to the Mediterranean. That gets you out to... Where are we? Where's the Mediterranean? Oh, yes, this is the Mediterranean. That gets you into the Mediterranean then, doesn't it? Right. Okay, so that's how that happens. Exercises in the Indian Ocean with Pacific Fleet Task Group, that, and the Indian Navy. The force was supported by Project 1559 tanker Ivan Bubnov and the Project 712 ocean-going tug. Why would it have a tug with it? In case of breakdowns? I don't know. Shakhtar. In August 2008, in response to the Georgian crisis, 2008, Moskva was deployed to secure the Black Sea. After Russia's recognition of Abkhazia's independence, which is a de facto and partially recognized republic of the eastern coast of the Black Sea, south of the Greater Caucasus Mountains in northwest Georgia, it covers. So this is a big conflict zone, isn't it? There's a population. Its capital is Sukhumi. This is the little country on the west of Georgia. Then, right? I didn't know this existed, and this is where Sukhumi is. How interesting. Independence. The ship was stationed at the I'm not going to be able to say it, capital Sukhumi, where we fly from. How interesting. Interesting piece of history. Sukhumi or Sukhumi is a city on the Black Sea coast. It is the capital of the breakaway Republic of Abkhazia, which has controlled it since the 1992 to 1993 war in Abkhazia, although most of the international communities consider it legally part of Georgia. Okay, we're going to have to do a mission freeing that place or something like that, aren't we? On the 3rd of December 2009, Moskva was laid up. That's a new phrase, laid up. What does that mean? Put to bed for a month at floating dock PD30 for a scheduled interim overhaul, which comprised replacements of the cooling and other machinery, reclamation work at the bottom and outboard fittings, propulsion shafts and screws, clearing a plate in the bottom and above, water parts, so it's a service, isn't it? In April 2010, it was reported that the cruiser would join other Navy units in the Indian Ocean to... What is this all about? Is it just the Indian Ocean? No, we talked about Indian Navy. What's this collaboration between the Russians and the Indian Navy? To conduct exercises in August 2013, the cruiser visited Havana, Cuba, for whatever reason. In late 2013, the cruiser was deployed to the Mediterranean Sea in response to the build-up of American warships along the coast of Syria. Now we're cooking on gas. The Moskva was in that conflict. During the 2014 Crimean crisis, Moskva was responsible for blockading the Ukrainian fleet. I remember we did a mission on that. It's just when we had started doing this. In Donetslav Lake. How the hell did it get to a lake? Okay, I don't think we're going to go any further into that. From the end of September 2015, while in the Eastern Mediterranean, the cruiser was charged with the air defences. That's going to be talked about today for the Russian aviation group based near the Syrian town of Latakia. That concluded the air campaign in Syria. Interesting. On 25th November 2015, after the 2015 Russian Sukhoi Su-24 shoot-down. I remember that. God, that's 4 years ago already. That's worrying. It was reported that the Moskva, armed with the the S-300F surface-to-air missile system. So this is a later version of the SA-10 S-300 we have in DCS World at the moment, which is a 1989 version. The sorry, I've forgotten the suffixes. We get the SA-10 S-300 PS or something, the version we get. It's basically an earlier version of this, I think. Here we get the S-300 is a series of initially Soviet and then later Russian long-range surface-to-air missile systems produced by MPO Almaz, based on the initial, there it is, the S-300P. That was the 1980s version, the late 1980s version. The S-300 system was developed to defend against aircraft and cruise missiles, which is important. For the Soviet Air Defense Force's subsequent variations were, I don't think we're going to go any further into that, but yeah, that's what I was saying, would be deployed near the coastal Syrian-Turkey border. In 2016, she was replaced, oh, so it's gone now, by sister ship Vayag. Vayag is the third ship of... Oh, look, there's only 3 ships in the Slava class. I thought there was hundreds. This literally shows how little I know about this. is the third ship of the Slava class of guided cruisers built for the Soviet Navy, now serving in the Russian Navy. So how many Russian ships do we have then? Because it looks like we only have the Moskva, the one that the Moskva replaced. Now the Moskva's gone, and the Varyag. So literally 3 long list of cruisers is all Russia ever had by the looks of things. How interesting. In the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, on 22 July 1916, Moskva was awarded the Order of Nakhimov. So I'm still not sure whether it's actually... Let me try that again. So it wasn't actually replaced. No, it was replaced in that region there. Upon her return from deployment 2016, the ship was to undergo a refit and upgrade, but due to lack of funds, her future remained uncertain as of July 2018. So it sounds like it's just sitting in dock, waiting for some Mulan, and I certainly can't afford it. So cool. So that's a lovely bit of history of that. We know all about her class, of which there was 3 ships. Began as Slava, ended up as Moskva, now sitting in a dock waiting for some dosh. Now let's see my favourite bit, the statistics. So the name was Slavi in Soviet service. Oh, so pre-90, with the wall was there, it would have been Slava, and Moskva from 2000 after the refit. The namesake Glory Moscow, builder 61. Yep, we talked about that. Laid down dates. Decommissioned, yep, all good. Class and type is a Slava class cruiser. It's 12. Let's just have a little look at that. That's it, isn't it? Cool. It's 12,500 tons of displacement. So I've got nothing to compare that to because it's the first ship we're looking at. So don't know. It's pretty heavy. It's heavier than my car. Length 186 meters, 611 feet. That's pretty damn long. My legs won't take me that far. That's long. Beam 20. What does beam mean? Across? I think across. 21 meters, 68 feet. Draft, if I said that right, is going to be, I think, how far she goes into the water. 8.4 meters, 26 feet. Propulsion, 4 times Kogod gas turbines. So we're going to read about this now. So, Kogod, combined gas or gas, that makes no sense, but okay, is a propulsion system for ships using a gas turbine engine. High efficiency, low output turbine is used for cruising speeds, with a high output turbine being used for high speed operations. A clutch, the biggest clutch in the world, allows either turbine to be selected, but there is no gearbox to... Okay, right, so basically there's 2 gas turbines. One is for the cruise, one is for the high operations, and you can see it there. So there's the screw, there's the gearbox, there's clutches, which, one can be disengaged, one can be engaged. Second gearboxes for some reason, and then the actual turbine. So presumably it's just more efficient to run 2 separate ones than run one for different operations. 2 shafts, 121,000 SHP ship horsepower, I'm guessing. Oh God, so that is, can't do the maths now, 6,000 times more powerful than my car, so that's pretty powerful. Speed 32 knots, which is good for a ship, but I know that, even I know that. Range 10,000 miles. No, 10,000 nautical miles, 12,000 miles, 19,000 kilometers at 16 knots, so that's presumably cruise. Complement 480, so 480 wonderful men work on there. How interesting. Sensors and processing. A. Voskhod MR800 top pair 3D search radar. What does that mean? What does 3D mean when it comes to a radar? All radars are 3D by, they are. So... don't know, you're going to have to explain that to me. A Fricat MR710 top steer 3D search radar. So this one's top pair, that one's a top steer. What's the difference? Don't know. Palm front navigation radar, no idea. A Pop Group SAN4 fire control radar, don't know. I'm guessing that means a track radar is what it means though. A Top Dome SAN6 fire control radar, don't know. A base tilt AK360 Seawiz fire control radar. I do know that one. That's the one that is going to be mounted atop of the Seawiz. So I'm guessing we're going to have Seawizers in this, which is cool. A Bullhorn MF hull mounted sonar for submarines, question mark. I've got lots to learn there, so we need to talk about this stuff in the comments to try and work out what all this stuff is. Electronic warfare and decoys, a rom tub and a side globe. Electronic warfare antennas, no idea, not even going to guess. 2 times PK2DL, 140mm chaff and flare. Now that's got me. Why would it have a flare? Because a flare is there to defect IR guided missiles, and there's no eye-guarded missiles that are going to shoot with this, so I don't know. And why is there 140mm chaff? I'm guessing radar missiles are going to be shot at this thing, so we're learning as we're going here. Okay, armament. So this is what it's all about. It's about the 16 times P500 Basalt or P1000 Vulcan anti-ship missiles. So this is what we're going to be using today in Combined Arms. Let's have a look at them. The P500 Basalt is a turbojet-powered supersonic cruise missile used by the Soviet and Russian navies. Its ground designation is 4K80 and its NATO operating name is SSN-12 Sandbox. So we're going to be shooting some sandboxes. The modern version is the P1000 Vulcan, or maybe the Vulcan, I'm not sure what we're going to be shooting. And anti-ship something missile. Don't know, you guys will have to help me out with that. Right, so that's what this ship is built around to fire these, and I'm going to assume it's what these big things on the side are. If we have a look at these, this is what kind of defines this ship. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8 on each side, so that's the 16 anti-ship missiles that we're going to be belting out. So at this point, I'm guessing that they are radar guided, hence why these ships have these 140mm chaff things going out. So, and you know, these electronic warfare jammers and stuff. So this is all going to be very interesting. How much of this is going to be modelled in DCS? Probably not a lot, but we'll find out as we go. Right, it's got 8 times 8, so 64 in total. So 8 in at once, I'm guessing that means. S300F, so these are the modern style S300 missiles, which are kind of ridiculously good. SAN6 Grumbles, so they are the modern Grumbles, and we've got the Papa Sierra Grumbles in DCS, obviously long range surface air missiles. So if you think these are good, then it's an understatement. They are unbeatably amazing, as we're about to find out when we run an aeroplane into it. Amazing missiles these are going to be. Oh, now this is even more interesting. Now we're really cooking on gas. Oh, I'm so glad we did this. 2 times 20, 40. So 40 total. In fact, I don't fully understand that. 40 total. OSA MA. These are missiles. These are radar-guided missiles from an OSA truck. And you can see the OSA there. Although I think the name OSA actually means the missile stands to be. So we've got this short range, kind of 5-6 mile range OSA missiles, the SAN-4 Gecko, SR SAM, short range SAM. So it's got the close range, so it's got the S300s for the long range and the short range Geckos. Now the question is why, at least in DCS, the S300 PS is superior to any short range OSA like this. So let me know what you think. Maybe it's something to do with costs or something along those lines, but that doesn't quite make sense why we'd have a bunch of short-range missiles, especially as these are designed for shooting missiles down as well. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to look at shooting hostile missiles down. How interesting is that going to be? Right, we've got 1 times twin AK. Oh, look at that! AK-130, 130 L70 dual-purpose guns. So I don't really know what they're for. I mean, you're not going to be shooting cruisers with these, are you? So you're going to be shooting pirate skivs or, I don't know, inland targets or something. Let me know what you think. Presumably GPS driven, question mark. 6 times AK-630 close-in weapon systems. What is that? Sea-Whizzes, or a derivative of it for shooting down missiles and very close-range stuff. This thing is armed to the teeth. Moskva is armed to the teeth. 2 times, what the hell is that? RBU 6000 anti-submarine mortars. Never heard of such a thing. Who knows about these RBU 6000 anti-submarine mortars? Are they intelligent? Are they dumb? Very interesting. Oh god, more. 10 times 2 Quin, don't know what that means. 530 torpedo tubes, so that must be in the hull, right? Armour, splinter plating means nothing to me. What does that mean? Aircraft carried. Oh god, it's got aircraft as well. Right, 1 times KA-25, that ugly little thing, marine chopper, or KA, even uglier thing, helicopter. Right, well, if you weren't interested in that, then there's obviously something wrong with you, because everything about that was awesome. What we're going to do now is go and shoot stuff with it, so stand by. Right, so, the fun bit, we're in. We're going to be blue, because we're the goodies. We're going to be Game Master. We could do this with Tactical Commander, but I want to see both sides, so I've just chosen this. Here's our blue guy here. It's our 1164 Moskva. And here's the baddie. The baddie is going to be the Oliver Hazard Perry class. It's an inferior ship as far as I'm aware, so we are going to destroy it, but it's the nearest thing I could find on the kind of the other side that we would fight against. There used to be a more suitable cruiser, I think, but I can't find it at the moment in DCS. It seems to have disappeared. So first of all, let's have a quick look at our ship. So along the outside, you can see those are the big 16 tubes for those massive SSN-12 sandboxes. And those sandboxes are supersonic missiles, supersonic jet-driven missiles, and they can travel, believe it or not, 550 kilometers. Let me say that again. 550 kilometers. Absolutely ridiculous things, and they're supersonic, so that helps them get through hostile defenses. So this thing is designed to destroy enemy ships at pretty much halfway around the globe. Well, 500 kilometers. It's a bloody long way. Amazing piece of engineering that is, and we'll fire some of those later. We've got the twin 130mm cannon, or gun, whatever it's called, at the front there. I guess we can have a go at using that later. We've got the submarine mines there. 2 sets. Now, I'm not sure if we can use them, but we're certainly going to give it a go. We've got I know they're not called phalanxes or sea whizzes on this, but, you know, the Gatling guns here for shooting down hostile missiles and aeroplanes if needed be. I forgot how many there are. Maybe it's just those 2. Let me know if you can see any more. I don't think I can get a cursor up on this. Can I? Oh, yes, I can. Look at that. Right, then we've got the S300 Foxtrots. I'm pretty sure it's these guys here, the S300 Foxtrots, in salvo or packs of 8, 64 in total. The SA-8 OSA, I can't see any obvious... Oh, look, there's more of the miniguns there, the big 20mm caliber millimeter guns. Here is all those radars that I just don't understand. I'm going to have to leave that for you guys to let me know what all that is. Where is the SA-8 OSAs? Some sensors there. I wonder what they are. Some kind of tracking radar for something. Almost makes me think they're for the OSAs, but I don't really know. So on the side there, you see those little things with the stars. What are they? Could they be the OSAs? I bet they are. More miniguns. 2 heavy great chimneys. I wonder what that guy is there. That looks like a track radar to me. Well, because it's not moving. Lots of search radars on the top. Why so many antennae? I don't know why there's so many antennae. Lots of lifeboats and stuff like that. So, oh no, one big lifeboat. What are these pods things, I wonder? Another antennae there. Some of these are weather antennae. And what are those there? Some kind of antennae. And what are all these here? Look how many sensors this ship has on it. It's amazing. No wonder they can't afford to keep it. And what's that there? Does it turn? And what does it turn for? That there's where the helicopter goes in. The hangar. Must be. That there is where they guide the helicopter in, I guess. What's that there? Why is there a door at the back? What can it carry? More sensors, look. Lights for Morse code or whatever you're going to call it with ships. More sensors. This series is going to be ridiculously big, isn't it? We've got so much to learn and talk about. It's going to be ridiculous. I was hoping it was only going to take a week, but it looks like this is going to take about 5 months. More of these funny dome sensors here, look. So this thing is just going to sense everything you throw at it, isn't it? Right. Don't think we can go any further than that. So here, this is where this must supposed to be the bridge, right? What are these little guys here? What's this tall thing here? What's that there? There's got to be some ship guys amongst you. Right. Okay, so let's look at... So we've looked at its weapons and its physicalities. Let's look at actually using the thing. And unfortunately, you can't go inside it like you can a tank and kind of be a ship's captain. I know that'd be quite cool if you could, but it's not. It's all controlled from here. And you can go and view it when it's firing its missiles and stuff, but here's where you control it. Now, the first thing to point out with ships is they are clunky. So if you start using them in here, people often think, oh, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It always tends to work when I use it, but it is clunky. It makes it feel like it doesn't work. So if you order a tank to go from here to there, it just does it. It gets on with it. With ships, it can take 5 minutes before it accepts your orders and gets on with it. So just bear in mind the clunkiness like that, which is You know, it's going to be realistic at the end of the day. So the first thing we could do, I mean, there's very little commands you've got. You click on the guy, you get, here's your command, you turn it off and on. Oh, sorry, no, that's not what I want. Out of interest, we've clicked on that there. Classified it as a warehouse, which I didn't know was a thing. That's all a bit beyond me, but you can, I believe, get ships to move vehicles and gasoline and stuff to other places, but that's beyond me, so we're going to ignore that for now. All we get to change is its ROE, whether it fires on its own, or whether it returns fire only, or whether it's holding, the state that it's in, green or red, or auto, and I think I'm going to keep it in green for now at least. In fact, I think I'm going to go to auto. The speed that it's moving at, only relevant once we've set a path, and we can set a path, which we'll do in a minute, and we can add a target, and we can stop and attack, and that's all you get. To add a target, all I'll do is click add target here, and then go and click on our Oliver Hazard Perry there, and that's it done. It's then going to go and prosecute that target. Now, if I did that right now, it would just fire a bunch of missiles, a bunch of sandboxes, 64 miles, and the Oliver Hazard Perry wouldn't stand a chance. It would be destroyed immediately. And, you know, I can guarantee it. I don't want to show it because it's just going to be a bit boring. It would be more fun if I moved us into that and we had a kind of a battleship scrap. I think that's much more sexy, right? But I can guarantee you, if I just clicked attack, it would just fire its missile tubes out as long as we're facing in the right direction, roughly. Fire its missile tubes out. Those sandboxes will come out at Mach 1.5 or whatever they're coming out at, and just pace this guy, destroy them. They're so fast, and there's so many of them, this guy can't defend himself. Simple as that. So what we're actually going to do is set a path. So we're going to click set path there, and we're going to get right into the thick of it. So we're going to go left click, and just for show you can, we're going to go left click again, right click to confirm, and that's it. He's on his way. Now, he might not move for a while. Again, he's a big clunky beast. Plus, we've got to put the speed up. Notice this is miles per hour, not knots. And you see, he's starting to move already, look. Lovely, thank you, sir. Okay, now this is the first time I put his state on auto, so I'm not actually sure what he's going to do. He may detect that ship over the horizon there and start shooting it straight away, or he may wait till he gets closer. Assuming I've got him on fire, like this, he's going to fire himself. I don't need to set a target. I could do now, and he would start firing now. But I would like him to use his own logic, so let's see how he goes. Let's speed him up as well. It will take a while to get up to speed. Obviously, it's 12,000 tons. And that's it. He's on his way. And he's going to use his weapons for whatever we ask him to do. If an aircraft flies into him, then he's going to use his S-300Fs and his OSAs. In fact, we'll do that in a little bit. And Vulcan cannons or whatever they are. And if he sees a ship that is in range, you know, this guy is literally, you know, around this. You can't see this guy physically. This guy is over the horizon as such, the curvature of the Earth. As soon as he sees this guy, he's going to prosecute him. This guy is going to prosecute him back, I imagine. And this guy's going to die, but we shall see. This guy has thicker armor and much better weapons. So what we're going to do is skip time forward until they can see each other. And, I can't remember ships. What is it, 30, 40 miles with 30 miles with the horizon? Something like that. Okay, we're at 31 miles now, so they're going to see each other very soon. Let me see if I can see anything from his view. There it is. I can see it. So, pretty sure we're about to get a cat fight, but we'll see. For reasons that are way beyond my knowledge, they might not engage until closer. Again, I could click add target and click him and he would start firing now, but let's try and make it a fair fight, kind of. He may wait to return fire. Oh, Schnell, stop. Right, sandboxes are out. So he's seen the target at 25 miles. It sounds reasonable, doesn't it? And he's immediately fired his sandboxes out. And let's have a look at the sandbox. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong missile. That is a sandbox, and that is a thumper. Now, I don't know the size for this. In fact, I'll quickly go and look on the internet. 35, 40 feet long. So it's longer than a house. It's bigger than a Tomcat. You know, it's... Well, I'm not sure, but it's absolutely enormous. It weighs 5 tons or over 5 tons. It's going, look at that, IA or true speed 972 knots. So it's faster than any airplane, I think, down here at low level. So it shows you what a thing you're dealing with here. It's completely unstoppable. I don't know anything else about it. You guys are going to have to let me know the other stuff, but it's just an absolute beast. And being fired from the other ship, I think this ship here, the Oliver Hazard Perry class, is what they call a frigate. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's tiny, puny little harpoon missile. Oh, right, these are anti-ship. Yeah. So he's responding with harpoons, which are anti-ship missiles, which I'm not going to go through the details of now because that's not what this video is for, but even in terms of speed, look, it's less than half the speed. So that's something to bear in mind. And when it comes to shooting things down, the faster it's going, the harder it is to shoot down. That's just a fact. Let's get on with it. I'm placing my bets on the Moskva, although for some reason the Moskva has only chosen to deliver 2 missiles. If I selected him and added a target, I think he would fire more than that. The last time I tried it, he fired 5 or 6. But let's just see what he does out of his own intelligence. He's probably thinking, this guy, this small ship, is only worth 2 sandboxes. And, you know, I've only got 16 or whatever it is, so I don't want to waste them all, which would be a fair thing to think. So look at the speed difference. By the time these guys are meeting, we are 16 miles from that guy and only 8 miles from this guy. And distances, the sandboxes are a little bit higher, but I guess they can be because they're faster. And these harpoons look struggling along at 440 knots. There's going to be an impact very soon. We're looking at that in 1-to-1 time as well, so let's just cycle through to the first sandbox, and here we go. Let's see if he can defend himself. Look at that! I can see a thingy there, a harpoon. That's hilarious. Can it defend itself? Oh, gutted! It was, it was firing. It's a missile. I don't know if you saw that. That flame is for a missile, I think, that's coming out to actually shoot down one of these sandboxes, but it did it too late. So that's just, and the missile got blown up as well. So I think it was firing an SM-2 or an anti-missile, a missile out to defend itself, but it cocked up and did it too late. So that is unfortunate. Now, why couldn't it defend itself in time? Is it the speed these are going at? You just couldn't process. Look at this one. This one's at 1244 knots. That's the Mach 2 on the deck. Yeah, no wonder you can't defend against this thing. Absolutely ridiculous. Wow. So I'm starting to see how good these things are. Look at that, belting towards it at Mach 2. No chance. So that's why it only fired 2, because it knew, you know, that's all it needed. Let's see what the harpoons can do. I get the feeling they won't put a scratch on the Moskva, but let's see. And the Moskva's moving again now. I think it stopped to fire, but, well, maybe I'm wrong there. Right, so it's not fired, it's S300 F series, even though it could. I know they can shoot down harpoons, I'm pretty sure they can. But it hasn't chosen not to, for whatever reason. Is it because I didn't put it on red state? Let me put him on red state. Well, it doesn't matter, let's go. Oh, look at this, the rotary cannons are going. Brrr. Shot down. You must do that kind of cool dive to fool the phalanxes at that time. Boom! Boom! Aha! He's got through! One's got through! Thump! Wow, so one of the harpoons did actually get through. Doesn't seem to have done a massive amount of damage by the looks of it. Nothing obvious. Is that all of them down? So it got through the kind of random spray, if you like, of the, well, they're guided, but you know what I mean, the ballistic randomness of the minigun, or the Gatling guns. I don't know any way of telling their health. I don't think we're meant to know, so it's obviously still working fine. The warhead on those harpoons, I'm pretty sure, is a lot smaller than the sandboxes. Okay, so the next thing I better show is using the big guns. So let me just unpause that. I'm going to let him get to the end of his path. Okay, I'm going to give him a new path. I'm going to set him to there. Send him on his way. Off you go, sir. Okay, off he goes. Sometimes he refuses to follow those routes. If that happens, just draw another route over the top of it and it'll work. I don't know why that is. It's probably a constraint that I don't know about. But he always does it in the end. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a target. In fact, just to keep things ever super safe, I'm just going to let him get to the end of his path there. Okay, that's him done. And which way is he facing? He's facing north. Okay, he's going to set him a target. This can be a little bit awkward, so I'm just going to set him that building there. Let's let him prosecute that. Now, he's going to take his time because they do sometimes. Let's just see what... Oh, he's turned his gun. Boom! And let's see if that shell is going to impact. There it is. Boom. Missed. Is he going to fire again? Don't think it's going to fire again. Let's try setting him to red and firing again. So attack target. Fire at that building again. Gun has turned. Boom. There it was. Miss. Is he going to fire again? No. He only likes firing one bullet for whatever reason. But anyway, that's the way it's going to go. So now I'm going to jump in a plane and see how he does with me as a plane. Okay, we can look at the air defences. Red, F5, nice and hard to shoot down. Let's go for it. Search, and we can see we've got a 49, that's the frigate over there, and the Tango 2, that is a search radar for the Moskva. So let's make ourselves a nice easy target. One thing you'll note is the power of the Moskva's search radar. Look how close it is. That's the power in kilowatts or megawatts rather than the range per se. Very powerful radar, very hard to beat these ships. Very dangerous things. 24,000 feet. Still searching. When he starts tracking us, that will disappear. Okay, that's disappeared now. There's now a track radar. See, he'll fire it as soon, I imagine. We are at about 20,000 feet. He's at 40 miles away. 30,000 feet. There we go, he's fired. Let's have a little look. There they go. Pair of Grumble Fs in the air. Very powerful missiles. Very dangerous. Pretty much impossible for me to dodge this unless I turned round, notched them or whatever, you know. So, amazing deterrent. What he doesn't know is that I've turned Immortal on, so good luck. See if we can see them, shoot them down with a gun. Where are they? There they are. Well, I would obviously be a dead man, but I'm not. Is that another missile? No. Yep, there goes another Grumble, look. At some point, he's going to fire Osas at us, we think. So he's now firing at 2 more Grumbles. He likes to fire in pairs for some reason. And that's 23 miles. Not going to try dodging them because you just can't. Not up here. Boom, I'm a dead man. What are you going to do? That's another Grumble. Is it? Let's double check. Yep, another pair of Grumbles, SA-10Bs. Boom, boom. Is that a Grumble? Another pair of Grumbles. How many does he have? 64, doesn't he? You're never going to run that out. There's just no way you're going to get near this thing. No way in hell you're going to get near this thing. Are they Osas or Grumbles now? Still Grumbles at 4 miles. He really likes the Grumbles. See if we dodge it. Look at me making it spiral. They're just impossible to dodge. They're such good missiles. Right. Too close for the Grumbles now. Let's see what he's going to do to me. What are you going to do? So it doesn't look like it's got the Osas. So it's going to do the guided phalanxes or whatever the equivalent is called. And the weak spot, I know of some of these Russian classes, is that they can't aim upwards, like to the extreme up. So what I might be able to do is get above him and go down. Gonna have to gun defensive jink. So what you do is put some roll in, and you can beat those bullets because they're a good, mile and a half away. Plenty of ballistic time to beat them. Okay, now down we go. Let's see if they can fire at me like this. Doesn't look like they can fire at me. Oh, no, I'm dead. He got me in the end, didn't he? Right. And thump. So we got everything there, apart from I'm invincible, so I'm just sitting there. Look, that's hilarious. That's silly. So we've got everything there, apart from the OSAs, which may or may not be modelled. We'd have to ask Wags to see if that's modelled. But other than that, that's thoroughly showed well what you can do with the ship, which is pretty cool. It's just awesome and amazing. We need to start using them more in our campaigns, especially the coffee campaign that we're doing at the moment. Maybe I'll ask to have a Moskva or something to play around with and start bombing some targets to kind of entertain you guys. I think that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Let me know your thoughts. Make all the corrections, which is probably going to be hundreds for this. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll enjoy the future ones that we're going to do, and we'll see you later.